Hey there, YouTubes. This is Grimweird coming at you with a new playthrough series for Project Ozone 3 Kappa mode. I am not really familiar with Skyblock. I have watched a little bit of playthrough of some Project Ozone 3, but I've never played it, and I've never gotten too far into any Skyblock. Honestly, they always make me feel a bit disturbed at the beginning. I don't like being on this small of a space. I don't like having insecure footing underneath me, so it feels a little awkward to me. But I thought I'd give it a shot. We just finished a Enigmatica 2 Expert Mode playthrough successfully, finished that quest book. So we're going to try and take on a big new challenge here with a big new quest book. A few things. So I did roll a couple worlds before this. One of them had a slime island literally almost right above it. It was almost too easy. The other one was over a deep ocean, which the one time I did try to play a skyblock, I started in a deep ocean biome and didn't really notice it and didn't really know that it mattered and etc. And at least back then, I don't know what mod pack it was, but animals didn't spawn in the deep ocean, so I was unable to get cows and chickens and sheep and pigs, and it was a bad time. So I did re-roll the deep ocean, and I re-rolled the other one was I think a corallium infested swamp with a slime island almost literally right above it. We could have gotten to it way too easy, and it just seemed a little cheaty to me. So this is the world we're going to start in. It's a savanna. I think that's a good omen because in my Enigmatica 2 expert series that I just finished, I started on a steppe, got sick of the rain, and actually terraformed it to a savanna. And savanna does not rain. It has got some nice green grass, but like the desert, it does not rain. I'm not sure what kind of animals spawn or if everything will spawn in the savanna, but I definitely know that in Enigmatica 2 there were plenty of goats and whatnot, so hopefully we'll be able to get some sort of animals here. And if not, I took a look at our map real quick, and while we've got savanna here, we've also got some river region nearby. And if we zoom out a bit, we've got some plains over here and some forest, some nuclear wasteland above us, which may or may not be good. Bottom line, though, is that if we have problems getting any animal spawns in the savanna, looks like we can build to the northwestish and get into some sunflower plains, some plains, etc., and make an animal farm off in that direction. So we should be fine. So biome and presence or absence of slime island. And then about the third thing that I think I've noticed here is what ability you start with. Fortunately, I got magnetized here. There are definitely a different ones you can start with. I think in the deep ocean one, I started with slow, which makes critters around you move slower. And I think in the corallium infested swamp one, I had maybe strength 1. Magnetize is, I think, a good one to have. I'm not a huge, I mean, I don't feel like I need magnetize to play, but it's definitely going to be handy here in the initial starting when I have no, where things can fall off into the void if I don't catch them. So I think to get this going, we hold it in our hand and right click. And now you can see we've started with 17 levels of experience. I believe that should be perfectly enough to highlight magnetize and hit this left arrow and shift it over onto ourselves. You can see our experience is now gone and we should have magnetize on us. The other things we've got an open computers manual, we've got a better questing manual, our Lexica Botania, and our ability bottle. Let's see, I'm going to check my hotkey for the questing. Yeah, so we can open the quest book for Project 3 Ozone, better questing through a keybind. If you're not sure where that is, you can go options, controls, better questing. No, we want category, better questing. and open quests. And I think this started out somewhere else, and when I first rolled a world, I changed it over to insert, which is sort of often out of the way for me. I think it might start on something else that was conflicted. So that is that. Another few changes. Obviously, I've changed the a few things like the settings on my journey map. I've got a mini map set up with a bigger font. If we go mini map, I up the font on that, and I reduce the size a little on my mini map, and I change the system to mob display. Let's make that large icons and large icons. Full screen map. Large icons, large icons. So we'll close that. Made a few changes there. Fiddled around with the GUI side. Fiddled around with the sounds to make them a little bit better for recording. Another thing you'll notice, this is a Gardens of Glass world type. However, when I first logged into that, I found the sheer amount of rainbows and asteroids and planets and etc. in the sky to be somewhat distracting and silly. So I went into mod options and Britannia and config and turned fancy skybox into false. So this started out true, and I have changed it to false just to get rid of all of the craziness in the sky. Just make it a more vanilla type sky. So those are some of the config changes I've made. Cheats are off, and everything else is normal. I haven't installed any extra mods or anything to this, although I might if things get ugly, depending on how things go. Mostly I'm just worried about chunk loading. This is, what is this? I think this is version 3.252 or something like that. Anyway, I'll figure that out and post it. So getting started. So if you're wondering if you want to watch this, the kind of player I am is I sort of get a kick out of just figuring out efficient ways to make it through progressing large quest packs and progressing through various tiers and various roadblocks and whatnot. So I just like to sort of, muddle my way through and find things. I'm not going to be the best or most impressive builder. I'm not going to be the best or most impressive automator. I'm not going to be the most entertaining. I'm sort of just a, plot around kind of guy. But what I will do is I will probably find really good solutions for getting from point A to point B. I do like to just sort of dig around through JEI and try to figure out, how best to get to my goals. And my goals tend to be, defense. How am I going to get some good defense going? Offense. How am I going to get to something that I like for a weapon, like a laser gun? Movement. How am I going to get to creative flight? And before that, how am I going to get to something like a Ring of the Squid and a glider or a glider and slime boots? So I'm going to be very focused for most of the beginning of this playthrough on just establishing those basics. Generating power, moving power, storing power. Offense, defense, movement. Getting those sort of basics out of the way. So if you're looking for a playthrough to watch where I sort of concentrate on getting established and busting through some roadblocks and getting sort of the base amenities set up in an efficient manner, then this might be the playthrough for you. We're going to do a lot of probably ignoring of the quest book in the first several episodes, and as we focus on those. For instance, I did take a look through the armor thing, and a lot of this a lot of this armor progression that is done through the system here um, seems a bit crazed. So we're going to bypass some of the early armor stuff and try and find alternatives there. There's a lot of mods in here that I've never used before. I'm interested in playing with the Yaba barrels. I've never really used those. There's lots of other things here that might be fun. Um, so there's also going to be pretty much a learning curve for me. I've never done things like Lordcraft or Abyssal or um, any of that Agricraft. I've never done a lot of the big mods that are in this pack, so that should be interesting for me. But enough jabber. Let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing is I cannot stand being on a tiny island with all this sky around me. So I'm just going to go ahead and start trying to level this island down. I think we need to... Hold on a moment, I need to cough. I think we need to find a bedrock that is down here. So there's going to be one bedrock in the center of this island, so maybe about 3 down from this square, that we want to expose and have access to before we start building a lot of stuff on top of it. So I'm pretty sure I can get away with not having this water, so I think I might just get rid of it. We're going to, I think, pretty quickly, if from what I've watched in other playthroughs, be able to get a barrel and be able to throw saplings in that barrel and get our own water. So I'm just going to do away with the water. That may be a mistake, but if so, we will rectify it. So basically, just going to keep digging down here until, boom, there's my bedrock. So that's what I'm interested in. I want to expose that and then start building a platform out from there. I think I'm going to go ahead and living roots. What are these used for? Saplings. Is that it? Alright, piece of cake. That means I don't need to worry about saving the living roots, so I think I'm going to get rid of those. Not a ton of range on this magnet from the ability bottle, but, you know, we're catching a little bit of stuff. So I think I'm going to leave... I sort of want this grass to propagate down to this level. And I also now sort of want some cobblestone. So if I understand it correctly, if I shift right click on some dirt, I will get these pebbles. And I can just hold shift right click and get a ton of them. If I pick these up, 4 of those turn into some cobblestone. And let's see, shift so I don't fall off the edge here. Yeah, another nice thing about this is that you'll notice my cursor out here, it's a plus. So just out in the center of the screen, it's a plus. If I move it to near the bottom of one block, it'll turn into a bracketed plus. And that allows us to actually place underneath the block that we're sort of pointing at. So I'm going to go ahead and give myself a little bit of a foundation here. So I'm going to go around here and actually try and just make things a little bit more stable for myself. I like to be able to hide cables and things in the ground. Hey, the grass came down. Yay. So I want to be able to not fall through the world when I try and put things in the ground. Because I think falling through the world is not cool. So our grass made it down, so I'm going to go ahead and grab up some more of this dirt and get rid of some more of this root. Oof, that makes me nervous. And I'm almost out of cobblestone, but all right, that's going to get me a nice solid base here. All right, so my platform is pretty much exactly how I want to be moving forward here now. Other than underneath the bedrock, which I can't accidentally break. Pardon me while I clear my throat. So other than underneath the bedrock, I've got a little cobblestone underneath my dirt, which makes me feel a little bit more secure. I've got some grass down on my dirt level. I've exposed my bedrock. So things are going just about right. Let's see. I've decided that we do not need the Better Questing book. So we're going to launch that into space. Open Computers Manual. I don't think I need that right now, so we're going to launch that. Living roots. We'll turn those into some saplings. And now let's open up the quest book. I think this introductory one gives us some stuff. Yeah, some more dirt. A sapling in case you didn't come down to get the living roots. A diamond. So we will claim that. So the RAK, or R-A-K, Random Acts of Kindness, is basically just the reward token for this thing. We can save those up and buy stuff, like more abilities with them, I believe. So we can buy things like Flight Totem for 768. If we don't have a different way to fly, that's probably going to be one of the first things I'm worried about. The Magnetize is only 5 RAK, so you can get that super early if you want it and don't start with it. Night Vision 64. So I'll look through these off camera and decide if there's, decide some sort of path through this. We got slowness. Fertility, saturation totem. How much is that? 64. Keep an eye on that one. Alright, so there's a few things here. Our grass is spreading, so that is good news. So basically, I cannot stand being on this tiny little island. And so I'm going to go ahead and go off camera now. And I'm going to sit in front of my TV and watch TV for a little while. And the entire time I'm watching TV, I'm just going to be casually holding down the right key button here, making pebbles. And I'm going to generate a whole bunch of cobblestone for us to expand our island. This isn't necessarily the most efficient way, and I'll have to keep an eye on my hunger and make sure that I don't get carried away and then, have trouble with starving to death or something. But I'm going to get us at least enough space so that we can build this out a bit before I start growing trees and whatnot. Because, quite frankly, I just can't stand it. It drives me nuts. So I will be back in a bit. All right, I am back, and we have punched up some pebbles. And doesn't look like we've accomplished a lot, but that's because I'm weird. And I realize this is not the most efficient way to do a skyblock, but it is going to be my way. I just feel like I really need some solid ground under my feet. So we've expanded now. We've got 2 layers of cobblestone and some dirt around most of this, except under our bedrock. So we got a nice solid foundation here. Is this necessary? Absolutely not. Would I have gotten a much bigger surface area to play on if I had turned all this cobblestone into, say, slabs and built out a single layer of slabs? Absolutely. I just feel more comfortable having some solid ground under my feet. I do wish I had enough dirt to finish off this one little area here, but we can make more dirt, I believe, with a barrel coming up here real soon. I would sort of like to keep going, but with the cobblestone as well. However, I just ticked down to now having 4 empty health or food things here. So we do need to make sure we don't actually starve to death. So it's time to start looking for some apples, I believe. So we can throw that down there and twerk by rapidly hitting shift over and over. And maybe, yes. There it goes. And now we have a tree. And we should be able to get some apples from this. The one thing I'm going to watch out for here is that vein mining causes some hunger. So I don't necessarily want to vein mine this. I don't think. So I think I'm going to punch it for now. Until I can get an apple or two. And if I don't get it from this, we'll take some of this wood and make a crook. I believe that has better drop rates of apples. Alright, yeah, so we didn't get one there, but let's go ahead and see. We'll make some planks. And then we'll make a crafting table. We'll turn that into a Tinker's Construct crafting station. We're also going to need sticks. So I think we should be able to, no, we probably need, I did save myself plenty of cobblestone here from my pebble punching, because I knew we were going to need at least a decent amount here for a furnace. So there's 8 compressed cobblestone for a furnace. Nice. So let's see, that's this bad boy. 64 cobblestone and a furnace. We will take that. We really need to get this one done now. We've got 4 oak wood. an oak sapling. We need 8 apples and a wooden crook. Let's go ahead and make the crook, and these break really fast, so I'll just go ahead and make a couple of them. Hopefully this will give us a better yield of apples if we break all the leaves with a crook. However, that's really going to chew through our remaining health. So we'll have to bake those apples and then try to get more. Here we go. All right. So we're going to need some more wood. We'll move this stuff around later, but for right now, let's see, what's the best way to do this? I think I'll go ahead and make... see, burn time 300 ticks, burn time 300 ticks. They're 1 for 1, so I guess that doesn't matter too much. We'll go ahead and throw a couple of those up there, throw that there. We'll turn a couple of these wood into charcoal, and then we will turn that into tiny charcoal, at least in this initial furnace. That'll probably be a good way to go. Throw that up there. Try and sneak an apple out here with this remaining fuel. We're not going to make it. We didn't make it. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and do this. The burn time, you don't actually gain anything here other than in these early levels, most things I think only take about 200 ticks to burn, so I think that saves you a little time there. So yeah, we used up one tiny charcoal to get our 1 apple, and yay, we're not going to starve to death. So now we can go back to twerking up some trees. Plump pear and plump peach. I think I'm going to wait and try and get us the juicer before I eat those. And there goes another crook. But we got another apple, so that's good. Is it tallying up our apples? It's not. So we'll make this 1 more apple for food, and that should give us enough food to survive until we've gotten our 8 apples for our quest. So I think I'm just going to punch down this tree. One hand, you got to have to do this sort of weird balancing act. I think it's like, on one hand, you get better yield for apples with a crook, and on the other hand, vein mining with a crook takes more hunger, and you use up all your wood on crooks. So, we'll just sort of walk that line for a bit until we get this finished. None of this will matter too much as soon as we get a hopping bonsai pot. Because then we'll have all the tree stuff we want. Alright, but basically I'm going to pause the recording again here. Basically what I'm going to do now is just more of that. I'm going to twerk up trees. I'm going to break them either with crooks or not, depending on how much wood I have on me. And we're going to try to get up to 8 apples. And that will be our next quest. Be right back. Okay, well that didn't take too horribly long. We've got our apples, and only had to eat 1 more to get the 10 more that we needed. So if we go to our book here, we can claim this. And now, what do I want to do here? So getting some sieving going is very important. Getting a hopping bonsai going is very important. Getting some Tinker's Construct going would be very important. That's this. I think the main thing I want to do now is probably just get myself some more room again. So now I don't have to worry about dying so much. How does this juicer work? Well, that's simple enough. Alrighty. So there we go. We've got some of that. We can now turn. Let's see. I think I want to hold on to maybe 3 of those. We'll cook the rest of these. So now, dirt. How do we make dirt? Show me dirt. That is composting in a barrel, which is just basically throwing a bunch of saplings in a barrel. So I think what I'm going to do again, I just really hate being on such a tiny island. It just drives me nuts. Way too little land, way too much sky. It just sort of freaks me out a bit. So I think I'm going to go back to, I still have a decent amount of cobblestone. I'm going to sort of make a beeline towards the barrel and some more dirt, I believe, is what will make me the happiest. Again, nobody in Minecraft ever does things exactly the same way. Everybody's going to have different priorities. Some people build, some people automate, some people follow quest books religiously. Me, I'm all about just doing, what solves my immediate needs. What do I value, and what can I do about it? So things like defense, offense, base construction. It's just, what do I need? But right now, I need a bigger island. That is what I need. And so that is what I'm going to work on. And so, let's see. I just need some slabs to make that happen. So, come over here. Save some of this just in case. Make some slabs. There's a wooden barrel. And I'm going to throw this barrel down. And I'm going to fill it with saplings to make dirt. How quick is this? By mousing over it, you can see it's now 50% complete and going. So it's not too bad. So I'm going to go back to punching the ground a bit and making some dirt in between. And I'm going to get enough dirt, I think, to finish off this 9x9 of dirt. That's enough dirt for now. It's just finishing off this initial square that we got going on. And then I'm going to start building out with cobblestone alone. And I'm going to get us out to probably at least a... Where's the chunk boundaries? Center of a chunk is here. I may try and just fill up this chunk. Give us a nice 16 by 16 or 17 by 17 island. Um, and I should have plenty of food now to happily make my little island without worrying about it. And then we will proceed with actual technology and quest book progress from there. So I'm going to pause this again. Um, you can sort of get a feel for what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. But yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. So I will be back in another minute when I get done with building out our base. Turn off our chunk boundaries. Um, I think we should be able to go to the hunting dimension and grab us some more dirt. So this will probably be the first and last little session of dirt building that we do here. That just makes a nice symmetrical 9 by 9 of dirt. Am I going to have enough saplings? Not sure. Of course, one thing I'll have to keep an eye on is not getting too carried away with the whole size until I make some torches. But we can always make torches with charcoal, so not a huge concern. And if I was going to do much more than this, I would have gone ahead and just made a second barrel. It's not going to kill me to have 2 barrels. Although, come to think of it, there are probably stone barrels, and I probably should have made a stone barrel instead. But whatever. The perfect is the enemy of the good. All I'm really worried about here is just making a platform that's big enough that I don't feel both claustrophobic and agoraphobic at the same time. And that's mostly because I'm just, sort of a fat fingerer. I will quite often just sort of hit the wrong key and fall off things, and it's a problem. All right, there we go. So we've got a nice little base of grass here. That's good. It'll give us plenty of room to grow some trees, maybe make an initial crop or two. We're going to have to get some water back here, so I think throwing leaves in a crucible will turn into water, so we'll make an infinite pool once we have a little bit more room to work with. But for right now, I'm going to pause, and I'm going to go back to punching, and I'm going to make up a bunch more cobblestone and expand our island out a bit. And probably don't need more dirt. I think one more ring of dirt would be nice, but we'll see how I feel. I'll be back in a minute. All right, so progress has been made. I made a ton of cobblestone while just watching TV. So this is not the most efficient way to start your platform and start a skyblock, but for me, it just feels right. I like a good solid foundation. So I've been using the stone wand, which is helpful. It'll put out 5 blocks, and it only does horizontal mode, but still that gets me where I need to go. And you can see that I am building 3 thick floors here, because I like me some girders. I've watched playthroughs and people, doing things like making huge platforms out of wood planks, and it just makes me cringe. I'm far too clumsy to handle something like that. I would dig through the floor or vein mine it or burn it all down. So, you got to play to your strengths in this game, and my strengths are, build something solid here. So that's what I'm going to do. I also cooked up some stone. Uh, Show you what I'm doing for walls. I've cooked up some stone, and I am making stone speleothems, which are basically those stalactite and stalagmite type blocks that spawn. And I'm using those as walls here. I sort of like them because they're nice and solid and I can't run through them, but they also provide me a little bit of visibility. They don't get all solid, so I can still look through them and look down through them. They're not too pretty, so we'll replace those with something else once we have some better building materials in the future. And I did go ahead and make some charcoal torches. And let's see, put that, where am I doing that? Fifth one. So we'll get some torches out here. Again, it just makes it feel more like home. Let's see. Alright, so I think we're well lit up. We'll light this up a little bit more organized in the future, but I just want to throw some torches down just to make it feel more homey. But now we have a floor. We have a floor that's solid enough. I don't need to worry about me breaking through it accidentally. And we have a wall, so I don't have to worry about me running off the edge. So we are in business. So now it's time to get back to increasing our capabilities here. And obviously we will remove some of these and make walkways going out to other little islands. Probably we're going to have a mob farm down here. This level will probably end up being the basement of our base, of our world here. So down here we will probably just have this little starting area, and then we'll probably build a mob farm off in that direction, one of these two directions, just to get us closer to that slime island. And then we'll probably build another little platform down here that has some starting portals, another portal, and a hunting portal, and etc. But then once we get into other dimensions, like the hunting dimension and some of the other dimensions, and we can actually get our hands on large quantities of building materials, we will probably go up about 10 or 20, or at least probably about 10 or 12 squares, and start building out a big base above this. But yeah, we're good to go here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the usual. How am I doing on wood? Doing okay. Not great, but okay. We're going to do the usual Tinker's Construct stuff now. So we'll make some patterns, assuming that's the normal recipe. Yeah. Make some of those to get started. Then we will make a variety of tables here. So we've got a stencil table. We got a part builder. We're going to need more wood. Because we're going to need a tool station. And I want a patterned chest as well. So it's time to make ourselves some more wood. Doing okay on food. I think I've only eaten 1 or 2 apples, cooked apples, and we got 6 more on tap, so definitely my passion for punching dirt for pebbles has helped with getting the furnace and going for some quick baked apples. That has helped. So let's go ahead and grab some more wood. Oh, that's not at all what I wanted to do. Alright. Well, we'll grab some more wood. Never hurts to have another crafting table. We'll use it eventually. Um, so yeah, I think I'm going to pause here again. I just sort of wanted to show you that, just sort of give you an idea on strategy. So inside of the wall is a 16 by 16 chunk, as you can see by the green boundaries. So that way I know that, if I keep this chunk loaded, everything inside the wall will be loaded. And so we can go E, claimed chunks, and we can claim this, and we can chunk load it. And so now this thing will stay loaded for us. So now if I turn these back off. Alright, so I'm going to get us some more wood. I'm going to build out the rest of our tinker stuff. Probably real quick I'll make a few tinker tools, just sort of stone tools, enough to break my furnace, and we'll move things around, move it off of our grass area and probably off into this corner. The next few things we want to do is I wanted to make myself a little infinite pool, so maybe somewhere over here in this 2x2 we'll make an infinite pool of water. Some things like that by throwing saplings in a crucible, probably. I think is how we do that. So I'm going to work on a little bit of that stuff, and I will be right back. Alright, and I thought I would just briefly show we're working our way through making all the patterns here. This is another sort of inefficiency, but it's sort of what I want to do, and that is just to make one of every pattern to start with and fill up our pattern chest. The nice thing about the pattern chest is that it keeps all the patterns when you break it, so even if we have to move this in the future, the fact that we have got this fully stocked now means that we are good to go. And it also means, let's see, there's 33 patterns. We've got all 33 patterns, which now means that we no longer need a stencil table. So we can pick that up and either burn it for fuel. Burn time, yeah, I'm just going to burn it. We will keep those. So I made some chests. We've now got our things going here. We can see we can access all the patterns with our part builder from the pattern chest because they're connected. So we are good to go here. We've got our crafting station, our tool station, our part builder. We are cool. And got a couple of chests here. So this bottom one will actually start throwing stuff in there. This will actually show up when we open up our crafting station, so that's good. I think I'm already going to start managing, if you will, our situation here. We're not going to need a living root anytime soon. So get rid of that. Throw some of the rest of this stuff up there. Silkworms, we're going to need those pretty soon. Torches, I won't need those for a bit. Alright. I think we're in business. I cut down several more trees. Got some more pear and peach juice, so we made some of those up. Got plenty of wood to make some chests and finish out our tinker stuff here. So now, I gotta figure out where I want to put that stuff. Sort of the general plan here, if we take a look at things, if you look down in here, you can see what kind of biome I am mousing over. So it looks like we have, I sort of want to try and maybe keep everything savanna, at least until I figure out what, if any, animals I'm missing, just trying to get them to spawn on a savanna. So we're probably going to try and stay in roughly this area. We're going to build out a bit towards this island so that we eventually can get over to that slime island. we're probably going to avoid going north too much because it looks like there's a huge stripe of nuclear wasteland up there. But yeah, that's sort of what we're going to do. So I went ahead and put this on the north side because I doubt I'll be going too far north. So we'll go out that direction towards the Slime Island, and we'll go south towards more Savannah, and maybe a bit out west as well as we start building. And of course, we'll mostly build up as well. And just sort of keep this as our sort of starting bedrock basement layer, if you will. All right, so what do I need to do? I need to break this furnace and move it to a new home now that I have some space to work with. So it's about time, I think, to start making tinker stuff. I'm going to want a chisel. And for that, I'm going to need my stone. Let's see. So we get some stone out. I've got some wood on me. I'm going to want a stone chisel head, I believe. What's the chisel make? It's just a wood tool rod probably then. So the main reason again for me to make a chisel here, it's not really necessary. Oops. Let's go ahead and click chisel. It's not super necessary. I just like having stability and good footing. So both for looks and for stability, I might try and chisel up. Alright, so I can't do that here. So probably what we'll have to do is wait until we get a replacement tool, and then we will chisel some of this stuff. Alright. We'll chisel some of this stuff into something that looks a little nicer for cobblestone, and then go ahead and replace this cobblestone floor. So that way if I accidentally vein mine here on the cobblestone floor, currently that will take out all of the cobblestone below it as well. So if we change this top layer to something different, like some chiseled cobblestone, that way if I accidentally vein mine through the floor, it will only take out a top layer, this top layer of chiseled cobblestone. Like this would only take out the top layer of grassy blocks, but it wouldn't take out dirt underneath it if there were dirt underneath it. I sort of wanted to go with the Tinker's one, but it doesn't look like it does surfaces. So let's take a look at other options we have for chisel. We do have one diamond, and while people might think it's a little weird to spend your one and only diamond on a chisel, it might be what I want to do. Do we have the eye chisel? We do have an eye chisel, but it takes a gold ingot. We can make the Natura chisel here. I can't remember if this one allows you to left click to chisel blocks in the world. Let's see, what about this guy? Alright, so maybe we could make a diamond chisel and then chisel things in the world. I'll hold off on that. I'm not familiar with this mod pack, so I may need that diamond for something else. Alright, so what was I going to do? I need to make a... The other reason I've sort of wanted to go with Tinkers is I know I can make it unbreakable. And it's nice to have an unbreakable chisel. So let's see, what else do I need? I need a pickaxe, of course. So for that, we're going to go ahead and start with, am I out of stone? I am out of stone. All right, well, you guys are probably familiar with Tinker's Construct and know what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a stone pickaxe head with a stone binding pattern and a wooden handle. And then I'm going to make probably a shovel and a... might make a hammer. I'm not really familiar with how the hammers work here. I don't know if I actually need one or not. But I know we'll need a hammer for doing some sieving, so I might make one of those. So I'm going to pound up some more. Let's see. You guys are probably yelling at the screen at all of this gravel pounding that I'm doing, or pebble pounding that I'm doing. Let's take a look at our options for cobblestone generation. I think that there was, is it this guy? This guy is pretty cheap. Takes any block of glass and a lava bucket and a water bucket, and some cobblestone. So we're not far away from being able to make all of that stuff, and then we would have a real cobblestone generator. And then I could stop punching the ground. I think I'm going to wait just a little bit longer to do that, though. So I will be back in a moment. Alrighty, so I made a stone sledgehammer, stone pickaxe, stone shovel, and stone mattock, all with wooden handles, because wooden handles are better than stone handles, of course. So we are pretty much good to go. I also moved our furnace over against a wall and the barrel over against a wall. Not exactly sure if that's going to be their final resting place, but gets it out of the middle here, so we can sort of get things a bit organized. So yeah, things are coming along. We have the beginnings of a little base here. So I think we actually may have finished something, did we? Yes, Tinkers. So we got our patterns and all of our machines here. So that'll give us 5 more rack. That's good. So I think the next things we want to do is make ourselves some infinite water. So we'll do the crucible. Let's see. Yeah, so we'll do the crucible and make some clay. And then we'll also make ourselves some silk. Let's go ahead and do that one real quick. Grab some saplings. Put that away. Sapling. Make a crook. And we got some worms on us. Just throw a couple worms up in here. Let them go to town. And these spread pretty quick. If I mouse over it, you can see the progress. That first one is up to 80, 90, 100. So you can see they turn wider and wider as the worms operate. Throw those in there for now. So we'll just sort of give this a minute here, mouse over it, make sure most of it's done. Yeah, looks like it's all done. We'll vein mine that with a crook. And boom, we have string. So what can we do with that? I think we can actually, the two main things we're going to want with it first probably are string meshes, We're going to need those probably. Actually, these probably. And we're going to want... I think we can make wool with it in this pack. Yeah, so we'll grab 3 wool for a bed. And might as well make a bed right now. Lovely. So we'll throw the bed down. I don't like to be in too close to a wall, so we'll throw it right down there. Not exactly sure where it likes to spawn you in, but I like to keep some space around my bed so I don't spawn into a wall or anything weird. So we got a bed, that's cool. We can also hammer out, what do we need for the, claim that, and we need a wooden crucible. Do that real quick. So one of those, and oops, we need some more wood. Planks. 2, 3, 4. That's a sieve. We want one of those, but not right now. We're not quite yet. This is what I'm trying to make. Logs. Okay. Fair enough. Throw that over there. So let's see, what do I need to do here now? I think I need to make myself some dust or some clay, which needs water. So the water. Let's see. The crucible will turn saplings into water. Fair enough. We can do that. Save myself 1 sapling. So that's 1 bucket. I think we actually need to make 2. So we'll go ahead and do that. We're going to need some dust. So let's compress up some cobblestone. There should be plenty for now. And we can try out our new sledgehammer from Tinker's Construct. That turned it into 4 compressed gravel. And now sand. And now dust. And we can uncompress that. And now we got a nice little starting stash of dust there. For moving over the water from our wooden crucible to our wooden barrel, we don't have a bucket yet, but we can use... We need 1. The bottle can move a 1/4 bucket at a time. Which is awkward, but you do what you gotta do early in a mod pack. And now we should be able to, boom, make some clay. Alright. And then I think we need 1 more, so we'll Grab one more. Alrighty, we have clay. Yeah, we can make a fired crucible, which I think will allow us to make lava. We can also, of course, make a bucket. I'm already sick of doing it by bottles, so let's fire up a bucket real quick. Let's check our rewards here. Claim that. Lava generation, yeah, that's going to be a crucible. We need to sift up some bone meal before we can get to that. Fair enough. But we got ourselves a water bucket now, so that's good. And I think we're probably going to call it right about there. The other thing I'm going to do is make ourselves an infinite pool. So we'll get ourselves another couple buckets of water and then probably put like an infinite pool, a 2x2 pool of water somewhere around here maybe. And I think that's going to be about it. Is this a good spot? Yeah, sure. Pardon me, I have to cough. Take our new bucket. Water and water. So it looks like it wasn't a big deal getting rid of that water source that we started the game with, which was good because it was sort of in an awkward position. Alrighty, we are in business. I think this is pretty good progress for a first episode. I might do some stuff off screen. Let's see, we really sort of need to get some sifting going so we can get some iron and bone meal. Really need to get a monster farm going. How does... what's the vector plate situation look like? Iron, slime, sugar, chiseled stone. What's the slime ball situation look like? I'll have to check around. Let's see. What about rice? Is rice in this? Can we make rice slime balls? Looks like we might be able to make rice slime balls in rice dough and rice. So we're going to be looking for some rice seeds from sieving dirt. Alright, so that'll probably give us some slime. So it'll be good. Alright. I sort of want to get some sieving going so that I can do a lot of sieving in between episodes, but I may just go ahead and do that anyway, and then we'll look at the results next episode. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this first episode of this new playthrough of Project Ozone 3 Kappa mode. If you did, give it a like, and if you have any comments or suggestions, please leave them so that I know people are watching, and if people keep watching, I'll keep making them. Thanks a lot, and I'll talk to you next time.